What's up, friends? Welcome back to Aisha's Butterfly Land. Hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, I will show you how I make my chopped beef, my barbecue chopped beef sandwich. So as you can see here, I have my beef chuck roll. So this was 1.92 pounds. I have some chicken broth here, some salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and my favorite brand of barbecue sauce, the Sweet Baby Ray's. Some black pepper, and the Tony's Creole, everything seasoning. So I have my pan that I'll be using. I usually make this on my crock pot, but I don't have my crock pot anymore. It's broken. It's a long story. So yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I got my pan here that I'm going to be using. It's getting nice and hot. So what I'm going to do is pinch of salt, and it's going to go on both sides. The Tony seasoning. Just a little. I'm not going to put too much too much salt, because this has salt. Even though it's a reduced sodium, but it still has some kind of salt in it. Then towards the end, if I feel like I need more, I'll do more. Black pepper. And of course, the barbecue sauce will go last. Once my meat is well tender and cooked, then I put that last. So, what is this? The onion powder. Okay, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing good. Same old, same old. So, okay. So, I am going to just make sure I've coated the seasoning very well. And I did rinse the meat out and pat it dry a little bit. Okay, so just make sure it's nice and in there. So I usually make this meal in the morning with the crock pot, since I don't have my crock pot anymore, and I just had a lot of laundry to do, so I didn't get a chance to do it. So right now it's 4:16. It's 4:16 right now. So the kids, got home from school. They eating their little snacks, so they okay. So this is gonna take about 2 hours to cook. Two to 2.5 hours to cook. Okay, so they're okay for now. They have their snacks. And I know you hear them in the background being loud, knowing they know I'm in here recording. So the same seasoning, okay? All right, and for the meal, I'm gonna serve this with coleslaw. I will show you guys how I make my coleslaw. And this is a really good meal. And it will remind me of Papa's Barbecue. So, yeah. So, I'm just going to make sure it's nice and coated. Make sure it's really nice and coated. Okay? And for the little fat, if you want, you can trim it, or you can just leave it like that. Because keep in mind, like sometimes when you do go to the barbecue, Papa's Barbecue, sometimes they do give you a little fatty cut. So it's just up to you. If you want to remove it, trim it a little bit, you can. If not, don't worry about it, okay? So now, I have my meat nice and coated. My pan is nice and hot. I have it on number 6. So now I'm just going to turn it to number 5. So I'm going to go ahead and place my meat in my pan. Okay? Then I am going to shake this up and put my chicken broth on it. I'm gonna pour it on the side. If you don't have chicken broth, you can use water, but I like to use the chicken broth because it just gives it that flavor. It gives it that nice flavor. And now I like to use the whole 32 ounce. Then after this, I'm just going to cover it with the lid, and it's going to cook for about 2 to 2.5 hours, because you want your meat to be nice and tender. So of course you want it nice and tender. So once it's cooked, take it out, shred it out, then the barbecue sauce. So yeah, so if you're in a hurry, I don't suggest you make this meal, because you need to let it cook, because you need the meat to be tender. All right, friends, so my meat is almost done. It have about 5 more minutes left. So right here I have my slaw mix. So this is the 14 ounce. So this is the one I'm using right here, 14 ounce. So for this ingredient, for this recipe, you will need vinegar. If you like vinegar, people like to use vinegar for it, but I do not like to. I do not like the vinegar. So I will, instead of the vinegar, I like to use the lemon juice, and it's really, you really can't taste the difference. It's really good. And you will need some mayo. I'm using the Duke's mayo, and you will need some black pepper, salt, and I like to add just a little garlic powder on there, and that is it. Okay, and you will need 2 tablespoons of sugar, so it just wake everything up. Okay, so if you don't have if you don't have this, you can use any mayo, but some people like to use salad dressing, but I like to use the real mayo because it just give it that nice flavor. Okay, so you will need about 2 cups of this mayo, and it just depends on how you want it, because 2 cups of mayo. I'm trying to get it open right here. So 2 cups of mayo is pretty much half. It's pretty much half of this right here. So 2 tablespoons of sugar. That's 1 and 2. And I'm just going to use the same spoon. And 2 cups is going to be half of this jar of mayo. And like I said, you can use any mayo that you prefer. It doesn't have to be this brand. Whatever you like, that's what you're going to use. Okay. So 2 cups, we're going to go with 2 cups first. If I need more, I will add more. Some salt. Pinch of salt. Black pepper. Okay, a little garlic powder, and that is it. And for the mayo, for the lemon juice, it will be a tablespoon of lemon juice, using the same spoon. There you go. So I'm just going to mix this all up. And it's easier to use a spatula, I guess, but the sugar is in here, so I'm just going to make sure I mix it very, very, very good. All right, friends, so my coleslaw is ready, and it is so good. It tastes just like the restaurant style, fast food style, however you want to call it. It is so delicious. Like I said, 2 cups of mayo. I did not add more. Whatever I showed you guys, that's what went in here. And my meat cooked exactly for 2 hours. So I'm going to show you guys right here. Let me see, make sure you can see it. Can you see that? Okay, so the meat, 2 hours. So now I am going to put it on my cutting board. And just look how beautiful did it, just look at the pan. You see that? That's the bottom of the pan. So I am going to turn this down on low. I'm going to turn it on low. Then, while my meat is resting for a little bit, I am going to start working on my barbecue sauce. And the barbecue sauce really is, it's on low. It's just to heat it up. It's just to heat it up. Make sure everything, the little pieces is out. Okay, so I'm going to use this entire barbecue sauce. Okay, so I'm just gonna.
How do you make these? Are you going to make these?
Barbecue sandwich. Okay, so I am going to use this entire barbecue sauce. So I'm just gonna mix this around. So this is just to heat it up. Okay. And as you see, all the liquid that I put in there, the 32 ounce of the chicken broth, it all simmered. It all worked out. So, okay, my meat is here. So it's so tender enough that I can just shred it with the fork. You know, I don't even need a knife. You see, it's really tender. I can just shred it. So I'm gonna go ahead and shred all my meat, then put it in the barbecue sauce and mix it up, and it's gonna be time to eat. All right, this is how my meat is looking. It's all in there, it's chopped. So turning this off, and I'm going to start toasting my bread. So instead of buns, I'm using the butter bread. So I just got it in the toaster. My chopped beef barbecue sandwich is ready. Butter bread, coleslaw here, and man, friends, it smells so good in here. Do you see this? Can y'all see that? Oh my God. Oh my God. I wish you guys was here so I can give y'all a piece, man. The meat is so tender. I'm telling you, so tender. So delicious. Tastes just like Papa's barbecue.